Hello everybody and welcome into this edition of One Nation Weather. In this video I'm going to be talking about the intense heat wave set to impact portions of the country, and that is coming up in this forecast for America. So let's go ahead and hop right on in. The video dated is July 21st, 2023 in the afternoon, and we're talking about a very dangerous heat wave, tropical activity that's coming, etc. All that is coming up in this video. Let's start with that alerts map for us here. As of your noon on your 21st of July in 2023, and as you can see, we have all of these orange areas and pink areas that are beneath my red line here. That's where you're talking about the potential for excessive heat warnings, and then the orange areas are where we're seeing that heat advisory. This is very dangerous, everybody. We're seeing these heat indices climb 100, 105, 110 plus for us here, which is why these pink alerts have been issued. A little bit of a lull for us here in that activity along the southern corridor from here to New Mexico and the Panhandle of Texas. But look, this goes all the way down into Florida, so really an extensive heat wave building. Before we discuss anything around that heat wave, let's go ahead and get into this weekend's forecast. You can see we've got a trough working across portions of the upper Midwest for your Saturday, producing some storms. A few of those could be severe. We could also see a few severe storms into the south central part of the country with a lingering cold front that's turning stationary down there. Also, the northern end of that cold front will still be in New England for your Saturday, along with some precipitation with a low pressure system, really in the Four Corners region, but specifically Arizona and New Mexico. For your Saturday high temps, look at this heat in the southwest. About 117 degrees for high temperatures in some of these zones. Temperatures into the 80s and 90s into many portions of the central part of the country. But look at this, the relentless 100-degree readings continue into portions of South Texas. We continue to see some 80s and 90s along the East Coast. As we go into our Sunday, notice really not a lot of precipitation to see. We've got a couple fronts in the northern tier of the country. Nothing to see out of those at this point. And then just a little bit of precipitation in the Great Lakes as some storms fire off in the back end of the cold front. But notice how that stationary boundary is really just lingering along the southeast coast. Most areas, unless you're right along those beaches, are going to be dry in the southeast for your Sunday, drying out with lower humidity, but still quite warm. Notice this is really setting the stage for a big heat dome to build across portions of the central part of the country. Arizona and New Mexico continue with some of the precipitation, and look at this, already seeing some of these 90s, 100-degree readings up into Montana on your Sunday. Look at this, 115s continuing in the southwest. Still tame in general on the east coast, but that will also change eventually with this heat wave. Let's go ahead and play out that Futurecast radar for your Saturday for us. We've got a few areas with a marginal risk, but no major severe weather going on. Notice we've got the tail end of a cold front pushing into the southeast as we go into your early morning hours, already producing some storms. Notice how those really fall apart as the morning goes on, but notice we get a couple of these storms to keep themselves together. One of them, according to the HRRR model, in eastern Georgia. The other little complex from eastern portions of Arkansas over into Mississippi. Now, here we go playing this out some more. As you can see quickly here, these storms pushing on off towards the east and southeast as the afternoon goes on. But what I want you to notice here is that we're going to get another little complex of storms to develop as the day goes on, and really it's going to be multiple of these complexes. No one of them is going to be extremely organized within this marginal risk zone, though, but you can see this really continues right along the Gulf Coast, and we'll see this progress even as we go into our Sunday. Now back off up into the northern plains, we also get a few of these storms to get going in our marginal severe risk. We'll also have the risk for a few of these storms in portions of Arizona to go severe as well. All right, let's cover that heat wave for us here as we go towards our Tuesday, July 25th. This is what the upper level pattern is going to be looking like, and this is really going to be the story of the week. All of this orange for us here, we're going to see that those high temperatures quite strong in the upper levels of the atmosphere for us here, and not many low pressure systems to calm that down. Look at this 90 to 100-degree readings getting going for so many people in the country, but look at this 100-degree readings surging all the way on up into Montana on your Monday, 115 in places like Nevada, portions of Arizona, as well as southeast California. Still tame in the east, but look at how this begins to build with some 90s into the east as we go into our Tuesday. 100, 105-degree readings still going on in portions of Oklahoma and Texas. That's only just going to intensify into upper Midwest zones as we go into our Wednesday. This is going to include portions of the plains over into places like Illinois. You can see some 90s as well. Here we go, looking at the temperature anomaly as we go towards our Thursday, July 27th. Look at this, temperatures as much as 28 to 30 degrees above average in portions of Nebraska and Iowa, according to the GFS model. But the real trend that we're looking at here is that basically all of the United States is above average as we go towards your Thursday, whether it's 5 to 10 degrees along the East Coast, which is still enough to bring your digits all the way on up towards close to 100 degrees, especially in the southeast. But we still have some of these numbers 20 to 30 degrees back off towards the west, and that's really what the big story is. How strong this heat wave is going to be for many, and how just overall this heat wave is going to be for the entire country as well. Now here's your storm energy as we go towards our Thursday, July 27th. Notice some of these moderate levels of storm energy will be pushing northward in portions of Iowa and Minnesota. This, again, as we go towards the late week. And really what that's going to do is, with the heat in place with high dew points as well, that's going to create for some severe certainty for us here. So any systems that get going July 25th through 27th, I'm anticipating some of them to become severe. Medium certainty from eastern Dakotas all the way on over into Wisconsin and Iowa for these storms to become severe in late week. So keep an eye on that. But overall, notice other than some of this precipitation in the north central part of the tier, we do need it into the Great Lakes. Most areas quite dry, and that does include the west, which is starting to get parched. The hopeful GFS model, though, as we go towards the end of July, bringing a cool snap at least into portions of the eastern part of the country where the heat wave won't be quite as intense, but also into Iowa where we'll see that intense heat, and those temperatures would just be a couple degrees below average, but we take average levels after seeing such a heat wave. Notice that heat continues into portions of the western tier as this model continues looking at it that way. Now, your 7-day tropical outlook through July 28th. This is subtropical storm Don with 50-mile-per-hour winds just lingering in the Atlantic. No concerns out of that. We also get this here Invest 95L with a 40% chance of development through the next 2 days, a 60% chance of development through the next 7. Now here's a look at what that looks like on the infrared imagery as of your Friday for us here. Not much getting together going with the storm yet, but look at all the dry air surrounding it and this pocket of moisture that it's sitting in. It's really going to have to fight through some of this, but really what I want you to notice is 975 millibar low according to the HWRF hurricane model for us here. What that's indicating is that we could have a potential tropical storm, if not hurricane, pushing towards the Lesser Antilles as we go towards mid next week, and really that's what these models are indicating. Keep tabs on the time frame as well as the intensity. So as we go towards our Saturday, potentially trying to keep this as a stronger invest with most of the models, but as we go towards our Sunday or Monday, that's when this really starts to get its act together. So those 48-hour chances of development will really be increasing, I think. And then look at this, maybe a Cat 1, Cat 2, even Cat 3 by some of these hurricane models. Though the GFS and the European model aren't quite onto this yet, it is looking like we could potentially see, if not likely could see, a hurricane as we go towards the middle part of next week, as these models take it really directly through those Caribbean islands and into the Caribbean, where we'd have to watch it from there for potential U.S. impacts. So your headlines recap the weekend: severe quiets down with heat building. While a few severe storms will be possible in a low concentration, most areas will be rain-free, but the excessive heat is coming. Triple digits are dangerous. Heat that has been contained to the southern tier will surge into the plains and Midwest soon, with 100-degree readings as far up as Canada. The heat wave will move east by the end of next week. By July 25th through 27th, incredible heat will be pairing with humidity into eastern states. Some numbers could peak near 100 to 105, and we could see that tropical storm form, with impacts likely for the Lesser Antilles regardless. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and subscribe and hit the like button, and here are the credits, everyone. Have a great day.